Hello, gentle listeners, and welcome back to episode 15 of Whispers of the Past. Tonight, we journey deep into the world of shadowed forests, mist-covered mountains, and moonlit trails as we seek out one of the most elusive figures in folklore and legend, Bigfoot. Also known as Sasquatch, this towering, mysterious creature has haunted imaginations and sparked debates across generations, becoming one of North America's most enduring mysteries. Bigfoot is often described as a large, ape-like creature that stands between 7 to 10 feet tall, with thick, dark fur that hides it perfectly among the trees and shadows, and, as the name suggests, he has big feet. But beyond the physical traits, there's something almost human about Bigfoot's myth, a presence that lingers in our collective consciousness, somewhere between the ordinary and the paranormal. Tonight, we explore the stories, the sightings, and the strange whispers that keep this creature alive in our imaginations. To understand Bigfoot's mystery, we need to go back to the roots of the legend, where the line between myth and reality becomes blurred. The origins of the Bigfoot legend reach back to the earliest Native American oral traditions, which feature stories of a wild man of the woods. But Bigfoot's story is not just a simple tale of an animal living in the wilderness. Indigenous communities saw this figure as an essential part of the natural world, an emblem of the unknown forces governing the forest. The Stalize people of British Columbia, for example, revered Sasquatch as a spiritual presence. The Sasquatch was seen as an elder of the forest, symbolizing a balance between the natural and human worlds. To them, an encounter with Sasquatch wasn't something to be feared, but respected. It was a rare reminder of humanity's place in the delicate ecosystem. Other indigenous groups tell of the Sasquatch as a being that would only reveal itself in certain conditions to specific people, or when the natural balance was disturbed. This element of sacred timing added a layer of mystique to Sasquatch sightings, suggesting that the creature existed in a liminal space, appearing to humans only when something significant was amiss. Many tribes, such as the Iroquois, Ojibwe, and Cherokee, share similar myths of large, hairy beings that inhabit the wilderness, each with slightly different cultural roles, from protectors to symbols of danger. These stories were shared from generation to generation, not just as entertainment, but as ethical guidance for how to live in harmony with the natural world. Some anthropologists believe these stories served as a method of psychological preservation, a way to pass on knowledge about the forest and reinforce caution and respect for the unknown. They acted as cautionary tales, reminding people of the mystery, vastness, and sometimes dangerous elements of the natural world. For many indigenous communities, Bigfoot is far from a fictional monster. It's a powerful cultural symbol, an emblem of nature's ultimate dominance over humanity. When European settlers arrived, they quickly noticed the folklore surrounding this strange being. Initially, they may have dismissed the stories as fanciful, but soon they began recording their own accounts. By the mid-1800s, sightings of a wild man were regularly appearing in the newspapers across the United States and Canada. People reported encounters with a creature that seemed more intelligent and human-like than any known animal. In many of these reports, witnesses were profoundly shaken, describing an almost eerie intelligence in the creature's eyes, unlike the blank or instinctual gaze of wild animals. One factor that added credibility to these sightings was the sheer number of witnesses from reputable occupations. Loggers, miners, and hunters, people accustomed to the outdoors and familiar with local wildlife, were among the most common reporters of Bigfoot sightings. They described unsettling encounters in the dead of night or in the heart of dense forests, where they would stumble upon massive footprints or, on rare occasions, glimpse a creature watching them from a distance before disappearing into the trees. Many reports also described a pungent, musky odor that accompanied sightings, giving credence to the creature's presence even when it wasn't directly seen. The story of Ape Canyon in Washington state is among the most infamous. Dating back to 1924, a group of miners claimed they were attacked by several ape-like creatures who threw rocks at their cabin throughout the night. While many attribute their story to fear or even a shared hallucination, physical evidence was later found around the cabin in the form of enormous footprints and scattered rocks, making it difficult to dismiss entirely. Even today, some adventurers hike to the area hoping to experience the same mystery that the miners described so vividly nearly a century ago. Another frightening incident, the Ruby Creek sighting of 1941, involved the Chapman family, who lived near a remote town in British Columbia. One afternoon, Jenny Chapman was home with her children when they saw a large, dark figure approach from a tree line. This creature reportedly stood over 8 feet tall and was covered in coarse, dark fur. The children's screams attracted their mother's attention, and the entire family fled to a nearby town for safety. When they returned, they found enormous footprints leading from the edge of a forest right to their home. The family was so disturbed by the experience that they ultimately moved away from Ruby Creek, believing that their home was now marked. For them, Bigfoot wasn't just a legend, it was a real creature that had invaded their lives, a powerful force that made them feel unsafe in the place they once called home. This story, combined with other reports around British Columbia, fueled a regional belief in Sasquatch, leading many locals to think twice before venturing into the woods alone. To this day, the Ruby Creek sighting remains one of the most chilling encounters in Bigfoot lore. In 1967, the legend of Bigfoot was thrust into the American mainstream with the Patterson-Gimlin film, often cited as the most significant piece of evidence supporting Bigfoot's existence. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin were horse riding near Bluff Creek, California, a region already known for Bigfoot sightings. The grainy, shaky footage captured a creature, later referred to as Patty, walking calmly through the forest. Experts and skeptics have analysed this footage for decades. Skeptics argue that it's a hoax involving a person in a costume. Yet, believers claim that the creature's proportions, gait, and movement are too difficult to replicate, even with modern technology, let alone in the 1960s. For many Bigfoot enthusiasts, the Patterson-Gimlin film remains the most compelling evidence of Bigfoot's existence, as no analysis has definitively proved it fake. Some research even argue that the creature's muscle movements and stride are indicative of a unique, unknown species. The film marked a turning point, leading to a cultural explosion of Bigfoot-themed movies, TV shows, and documentaries that solidified Bigfoot as a pop culture icon and reignited the public's fascination with cryptids. While North America has Bigfoot, other parts of the world have their own versions of this mysterious creature, each with unique characteristics shaped by their local environments. The skunk ape is Florida's answer to Bigfoot, roaming the humid, dense swamps of the Everglades. This creature has captured the imagination of locals and cryptid enthusiasts alike with its distinctive, pungent odor, described as a combination of rotten eggs and wet animal that can alert nearby witnesses to its presence even before it's seen. Known for its smaller stature compared to Bigfoot, the skunk ape typically stands between 5 and 7 feet tall, with reddish-brown fur that helps it blend seamlessly into the marshy, overgrown landscape. In the 1970s, there was a surge of skunk ape sightings, spurred by reports from hikers, hunters, and even police officers who recounted run-ins with the elusive creature in the thick, murky wilderness. One of the most famous accounts come from a so-called Myakka skunk ape photographs taken in 2000. An anonymous woman from Sarasota County sent 2 photographs to local law enforcement claiming they showed a skunk ape standing outside her home in the dark, reaching toward her window. The images are blurry, but reveal a large, ape-like figure with glowing eyes, a detail that has led to countless debates over their authenticity. Skeptics argue it could be a bear with mange or an escaped ape, but believers insist that the proportions and stance don't match any known creature. The Mayaka photos sparked renewed interest in the skunk ape, leading to dedicated expeditions organized by local cryptozoologists and amateur enthusiasts alike to capture clearer evidence of its existence. Beyond mere sightings, there are frequent reports from Everglades guides and park rangers who claim to hear strange, guttural howls echoing through the swamp at night. These sounds, combined with occasional findings of oversized, human-like footprints along riversides and muddy paths, have solidified the skunk ape as a true Floridian legend. In fact, the skunk ape has become so entrenched in local culture that Florida now hosts an annual skunk ape festival, drawing tourists and believers alike to the Everglades. Some towns even offer guided skunk ape tours, hoping to provide visitors with a first-hand encounter, or, at the very least, a thrilling adventure through the mysterious Florida wilderness. To many Floridians, the skunk ape isn't just a cryptid, it's an emblem of the swamp's untamed, mysterious spirit. Another version of this mysterious creature was born on the snow-covered peaks of the Himalayas. The Yeti, often called the Abominable Snowman, has been a subject of intrigue and reverence for centuries. Unlike Bigfoot, who is depicted as shy and reclusive, the Yeti is portrayed as a formidable, sometimes aggressive, figure in Himalayan folklore. Known as Mete among the Sherpa people, the Yeti is considered as a spiritual guardian of the mountains, with a presence that commands both fear and respect. Sherpa tradition holds that the Yeti has the strength to fend off even the fiercest of mountain predators, and sightings of its enormous, human-like footprints in the snow have been reported by generations of climbers and locals alike. The Western world's fascination with the Yeti took off in the early 20th century, when explorers, including British mountaineer Eric Shipton, photographed large footprints in the snow near Mount Everest in 1951. Shipton's photographs, which show a massive humanoid footprint with pronounced toes, captivated audiences worldwide and sparked a frenzy of Yeti expeditions. Despite decades of scientific exploration and mountaineering advancements, no concrete evidence of a Yeti has been found. Nonetheless, these expeditions have added to the legend, with some climbers claiming to hear distant, inhuman wails echoing across the icy slopes at night, while others have reported brief sightings of a large, shadowy figure traversing the harsh, isolated terrain. The Yeti's mysterious allure has seeped into Western pop culture, symbolizing both the danger and allure of exploring the unknown. Meanwhile, in Tibetan and Nepalese culture, the Yeti remains respected as a being deeply connected to the land, one that only reveals itself to those in dire need or those who show the proper reverence for the mountains. Tibetan monks even claim to possess relics, such as Yeti skulls or scalps, which they preserve as sacred artifacts. While Western scientists have tested some of these relics and found them to be bear or yak remains, the Yeti's spiritual significance remains undiminished in the region. Today, the Yeti represents both a tangible mystery for the adventurous and a mystical protector for those who live in the Himalayas, a creature deeply woven into the culture and spiritual fabric of the area. While Florida has the skunk ape, and the Himalayas have the Yeti, the rugged, isolated wilderness of Australia has given rise to tales of its own ape-like creature, the Yowie. This cryptid, which has been a part of Aboriginal folklore for centuries, is often described as a towering figure covered in dark, shaggy hair with a muscular build and an intimidating presence. Indigenous stories portray the Yowie as a bunyip, or a supernatural creature that resides in remote bushland areas, and suggest that it can be both dangerous and shy, depending on how it is approached. Traditional tales speak of the Yowie as a protector of the land, and, in some accounts, it is said to guard sacred sites, only revealing itself when humans disturb the natural balance. Modern sightings of the Yowie gained traction in the mid-19th century, when British settlers began encountering strange creatures during expeditions into the untamed Australia interior. Some of these reports describe nightmarish encounters, where witnesses heard eerie, high-pitched screams or guttural growls echoing through the forest at night, unsettling even the most experienced hunters and campers. Witnesses have also reported large, human-like footprints found along rivers and isolated trails, adding further intrigue to the legend. One of the most famous sightings occurred near Kilcoy, Queensland, in the 1970s, when multiple locals reported seeing a large, hairy creature roaming the bush. The incident became so widely discussed that Kilcoy earned the nickname Yowie Town, and it even erected a Yowie statue to commemorate the sightings. The Yowie's reputation varies across regions. In some accounts, it's portrayed as a shy, almost curious creature watching humans from afar before disappearing into the dense foliage. In other tales, it is said to be territorial and aggressive, defending its home against intruders. The town of Springbrook in Queensland is known as a Yowie hotspot, with locals sharing stories of mysterious sounds and occasional sightings that continue to this day. To this day, cryptid enthusiasts venture into the Blue Mountains and other remote regions in search of evidence, hoping to encounter Australia's answer to Bigfoot. Beyond Australia, the Yowie has become an icon in cryptozoology, with researchers and thrill-seekers alike drawn to the country in hopes of uncovering evidence of this elusive creature. Local shops sell Yowie-themed merchandise, and enthusiasts share sightings online, contributing to a growing community of believers who regard the Yowie as not just a cryptid, but as a symbol of Australia's ancient, wild landscape. The Yowie, like Bigfoot and the Yeti, remains a powerful cultural figure, a creature that bridges the modern world with a mysterious, untamed past of Australia's vast wilderness. Some people believe that Bigfoot is no ordinary creature. Instead, it exists on the edges of our understanding of reality. Cryptozoologists and paranormal researchers propose that Bigfoot may have supernatural abilities, such as the power to become invisible, to communicate telepathically, or even to pass between dimensions. Witnesses have reported experiencing an overwhelming sense of calm or dread when encountering Bigfoot, suggesting that the creature may have a psychic influence on those nearby. The idea that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being has sparked significant debate, with proponents arguing that this could explain why the creature leaves so little evidence. According to this theory, Bigfoot may phase in and out of our reality, appearing only briefly before vanishing without a trace. Skeptics, however, argue that this explanation strays too far into the realm of science fiction. Still, for those who have experienced something strange in the woods, the interdimensional theory provides a compelling reason for Bigfoot's elusiveness. For many, Bigfoot is more than a creature. It's a symbol of the untamed wilderness, a reminder that humanity hasn't conquered every corner of the earth. Bigfoot stands as a testament to the mysteries of the natural world, serving as both guardian and enigma. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Whispers of the Past. If you enjoyed hearing about Bigfoot and the other cryptids in this episode, then please subscribe and send me a review or suggestions for future episodes to whispersofthepastreviews@gmail.com. See you next time.